We're all connected to this higher source, but none of us really realize it. Hello and welcome to another video on Samayan 7th Sanctuary, and in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 questions you might want to ask yourself if you feel like you're not spiritual or you're not a spiritual being. I tried to put myself in the mindset that I was in before I kind of opened up to this path, so it was hard because it feels like I've been on this path my whole life, and I guess in a way I have been on this path my whole life. We all been on this path our whole lives. We just kind of forgot, and that's what it is. Sometimes it's just about the gentle reminders that we need to give ourselves to allow us to connect to these spirits and our spiritual side of life. So the first question that you might need to ask yourself is, do you really understand what spirituality is? And before I had my own experiences, I didn't really understand what it was. If someone would ask me about spirituality or what I thought of it, I'd just assume that it's someone who's probably generally happy and peaceful and probably a little bit weird, someone that carries crystals, pretty much who I am now. But I wouldn't really know much about it. I would just assume that that's their belief, or that's the way that they just choose to live their life, because maybe they want to be a bit different, but that's just ultimately that person. And that's the kind of biggest flaw straight away, I guess, because you don't know what it is and you've already made your mind up about what it is. And I feel guilty of this as well. Like everyone does it, but it's about understanding what it truly is. And unless you spend some time researching it, which no one really does, because you just assume there's some crazy people that believe in aliens or can talk to spirits, which some can, but you think it's just all a bit nonsense because you haven't had your own experiences. That leads on to the next question that you need to ask yourself, and that is, have you had any experiences? And what I mean by spiritual experiences is something that we probably have every day of our lives that we just don't know about. And I'm sure one of these experiences that we could all probably relate to is an experience, say you're thinking of a friend and then suddenly that friend calls you, and you just think it's a mad coincidence, but really that's you tuning in to that person, and then you're on the same frequency in some other realm that you can't see. You're forming this connection, and then it's just manifested in real life. And this happens all the time, and we just think it's a coincidence, and then we just shrug it off. But really, if you're paying attention to all these signs, you'll be able to understand that these are actually experiences that are happening to us and that we're going through. And with these experiences, they allow you to understand more about what spirituality is, and then it also allows you to form connections with spirits and spirituality as a whole, which leads on to the third question that you might need to ask yourself. Do you have any connections? And it's going to be hard to have connections before you've had any experiences and before you kind of understand what it really is, because you won't be able to develop that. But if you have had these experiences, then you'll be able to understand that you can strengthen these connections over time, and you can do things such as yoga and meditation and other spiritual practices and rituals that allow you to form deeper connections and allow you to connect with these spirits and your higher self, or this kind of external source, in a more fluid way. So these 3 things are the things that I feel like you need to ask yourself if you feel like you're generally not a spiritual person, because we're all spiritual beings. We're all here in the same consciousness, sharing this moment together, and we're all connected to this higher source, but none of us really realize it. And when we do realize it, the way that it can change your life is just kind of unimaginable at times. And it's something that I'm so passionate about now, and I feel like everyone should kind of explore it a little bit, even if you think it's not you and you don't really get it and you don't really want to get it. It's always worth just kind of exploring a little bit, just to make up your own mind about it, because if you are that person that's super close off to it, then I don't want to say you need it the most, but it could change your life a lot. Trust me, it could change your life a lot. Everyone's got the right to be their own person. Everyone should do their own thing. But at the same time, when there's something out there that you don't know about, which is actually a part of you, it's kind of a different thing. It's not about not wanting to be that. You are that. It's just you forgot it when you were born on this earth. So that's kind of my take on why I think you might not be spiritual, why you might believe that you're not. But if you have had any spiritual experiences and you've got any other inputs that you feel like might go well with this video, then feel free to leave them in a comment down below and help other people kind of understand from different perspectives. That's the whole point of this channel and what I'm doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made you think about spirituality in a different way, or just, opened your mind up to it a little bit. And I will see you in the next one.